All right, good morning, everyone, and welcome to our Coffee Chat series with Explore the World Live. I'm Joanne Sapp with Curated Travel, and today I'm super excited to welcome Andrew Howe from Collette Vacations. Good morning, Andrew. How are you?
Good morning. It's definitely feeling great. It's a great start to our week and just like a lot of great news with travel right now. So it's an exciting time to be talking to you and all of your viewers.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. I'm excited to learn a little bit more about Collette Vacations and the tours and the locations that you represent. Can you start by telling our viewers what your role is at Collette Vacations and what Collette is specifically known for?
Sure. Right now I'm currently the business development manager for Central, Northern, and Southwestern Ontario. So
That's a big
probably
territory. Yeah.
Yeah, so probably 80% of Ontario. And right now, Colette is definitely known for their escorted tours, small group tours. And we've been around for over 103 years. So they have perfected tour pacing with like long tenured, not just tour managers, but even the drivers and people who worked for the collective, right? I think that's something that goes without saying, like the team is very tight knit and it has grown to be one of the most recognizable tour companies in the industry. So I'm very proud to work for them.
It's a great company for sure. How long have you been in this current role with Collette?
Well, I started at a great time. I started in January, right before the pandemic.
Okay.
Before that, I was with a travel agent next door for 3 years, for over 3 years, and I really got a chance to see, the intricate, I guess, role that travel advisors have to fill, and like what amazing things that they do in terms of bucket list travel, family travel, and everything under the sun, right? So it's something that's it was a great transition into the role because I knew Ron previously and I knew some of the other BDMs previously in my past role, but it's one of the, I guess, interesting moments of my life, right? And this whole period through the pandemic, it really taught me just how to be, a self-starter and be motivated through like very tough times, right? Because
Yeah.
a
It's an
lot of the
interesting
time,
time to be in the travel industry for
yeah,
sure. I'm glad you're still there.
no, me too, and I'm definitely very grateful for that.
Yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about how you see Collette sees small group travel and there's bus tours specifically rebounding as the world starts to open up?
Oh, definitely. I think that like right now, we have our classic tours and we're much more than just like, the bus tours because we also do river cruises, faith-based tours. We have spotlight tours, which is our single stay hotels.
Okay.
And again, our explorations, which is a small group. And, we're seeing the opening be more progressive, right? We don't envision every country would snap of the fingers like, okay, most people are vaccinated, open up, right? It'll be a very progressive, and I think like it'll be a slow reopening, but we will get there. But
Yeah.
every country has had a different start date, with their vaccination process and just how much spread there is in the community. I think that what we're seeing, and we're seeing this right now, being in June 2021, not sure when you're gonna be watching this, but we're seeing like, countries open up weekly, but each of them have their own rules, right? And Colette is very, very keen on, following these rules and regulations and follow the guidelines that each country's government has put in place for travel, right? So, I'm definitely, well, personally, I'm seeing a lot more, I guess a lot more requests for small group tours. But I think like the bigger tours will eventually come back, probably later in the recovery time.
They'll get there. I think it's a really good point about, we get comfortable to what's happening in our own country. But as we look forward to travel and you're expanding your horizons, that yes, countries are opening up and they're doing their own things. And as travelers, we need to be, respectful and follow the guidelines in each of the places that we're visiting, which is, not just about COVID, but it's always a great part about traveling is experiencing how, people do things differently in different countries and, adapting and rolling with whatever's going on in each of those
Yeah,
countries.
no, definitely. And we saw this trend kind of happening even pre-COVID, right? But I think this just kind of expedited the process, expedited the trend. So, we're very excited to starting to run our tours. We've recently started running our Costa Rica tour, and we had a group come back from Iceland, of course, from the United States, because of course Colette's
Yes.
an American company. But it's great seeing, just the images of, even them wearing masks, still smiling like, through their eyes, and being happy on tour and enjoying this, right? Because we know that things will get better over time, but seeing the start is very important for all our morales.
Yeah, no, yeah, it is exciting. I mean, I don't want to spend our whole time talking about COVID, but can you tell us just a little bit about what travelers can expect on a tour with Collette in terms of their COVID protocols, what that looks like?
For sure. Well, to basically combat what's been going on, we have launched the Traveling Well experience. So, we have enhanced measures and enhanced training for our tour managers to, isolate certain situations. We also have pre-tour health screening. So, of course, now if you have a vaccine passport, or you don't have the vaccine, or if you had COVID within the last 3 months, we'll make sure that we document that accordingly, right? But again, it won't affect your insurance premium. We don't do any pre-tour health screenings for that portion of our tours, but we kind of see the tours running at the same pace. We don't envision changing too much. We'll of course follow the guidelines, but with our tours, we'll make sure that we run in the beginning about 25 to 30% smaller tours, unless the country is willing to have it at full capacity, right? So, just that, and just to give more opportunity for social distancing, and even on the sites and the stops that we make sure that it's controlled volume, right? We want to make the guests feel as safe as possible, so that with a combination of our amazing travel insurance and our waiver, that really keeps peace of mind for all travelers under the sun. So that's something that we're very excited about.
And so speaking of that, do you have, I guess there's more flexible, I mean, it seems to be a great time to book right now because everybody's got flexible terms and conditions. You guys have, is it refundable deposits or it's a lifetime deposit? How is Collette running?
Yeah, so with our tours, what's great about it is that we give you flexibility with our travel insurance, right? So, we pride ourselves for being one of the only companies to give cash refunds. So this is probably one of the most proud moments, of working for Collette, was when they announced that they've given back over $130 million in cash refunds. I think it shows the transparency to the travel advisor, so they can be as transparent as possible to their clients. Because we've seen different companies handle this differently, but we given the opportunity for you to either get a 105% travel voucher to be used at a later time, or you can move your group or move your travel, I guess, date or departure date to a later time in the following year, price protected. But again, we also give you the option for full cash refund.
Which is nice. I mean, I think that's what clients are looking for. And, it's sometimes difficult as a travel advisor to make sure that you're on top of all the different, because everybody's changed. Everybody's terms and conditions are changing. So trying to be transparent with the clients and give them the most upfront information as clearly as possible is important. All right. So do you have a favorite tour destination that Collette offers?
I would probably say it would be our new tour. Now, this is hot off the press, and I hope I don't get in trouble for this, but we have a new Japan tour. So, of course, Collette's known for the three I's, Italy, Iceland, and Ireland. Those are our most popular tours just worldwide. But, personally, my favorite tour, what I'm about to see, is the small group exploration Japan tour that we're about to launch. So our
Japan seems like hot this year. I don't know if it's with the Olympics and everything else, but I am seeing it's clearly a trending destination. I mean,
definitely. No, and one of the great things about it too, right, is because we're seeing that people are been pent up in their house for a year and a half, so they're just really have all the savings and all these aspirations to kind of tick off things on their bucket list. So Japan being one of the major ones, right? The Cherry Blossom Festival, and just seeing all of the intricacies that we have. And I have family in Japan, so I got a chance to kind of pick their brain about the tour and like, like, is this like cookie cutter in your opinion? And they're like, no, this is like not really offered. This is what locals would usually visit on their spare time.
Oh,
So
that's cool. So
there's
does the tour go from Tokyo to Osaka, or is it?
yeah, so this
Okay.
new tour will be going from Tokyo to Osaka as well. They have an extension. So this extension, being Korean, they have an extension to Seoul. So
Okay.
that
Oh,
extension is
cool.
going to be one of the first, I guess, times Colette enters that market in Korea, right? So it's very exciting for me personally, but I think having a small group exploration in Japan, so maximum 24 passengers,
Yeah.
will be kind of a real treat and real like a real intimate tour. Not to make this kind of weird.
Yeah, yeah, I would love to go and see the cherry blossoms. Definitely a bucket list. There's so many kind of neat things to see and do. And the
Definitely.
food, yeah, yeah. So my next question for you was, what are Colette's three most popular destinations? But you answered, it's the three I's clearly. So
Yes. Yeah.
Iceland, Italy, Ireland. Yeah.
But right now, so that's worldwide. But in Ontario, I'm seeing like again a lot of bucket list items being asked for. So our Finland tour has been requested
Oh,
a lot. I've actually put a lot of blocks in for a lot of the travel advisors in my territory, just for like the Northern Lights. Again, Japan for the cherry blossom season, and again like a lot of Oberammergau, right? Because as you know, Oberammergau.
oh, yes. I have a friend doing that. Yes.
Yeah, so
We did a whole we just did an Explore the World live on Oberammergau. Yeah. I'd never heard of it prior to maybe 4 years ago, 2 years before the original, well, the 2020. Yeah.
yes, so
Yeah,
no,
that's
it's
cool.
interesting, right? Because with the actual play being moved, a lot of people who had original plans to visit it in 2020, they all like switched over. Like very few actually got a refund just
Well,
because
yeah,
they
when you're
know.
waiting 10 years for something, what's one more year?
Exactly, right? So it was really nice and rewarding to see, right, that there is trust in the future of travel and in Colette, right? So it really made us feel happy in terms of like the interest being there.
Collette has a tour I'm obsessed with. It is your Floriade tour for next year. So Floriade, for our viewers who don't know, is this every 10-year horticultural exposition that happens in Amsterdam. But Collette has this fabulous tour that goes from Amsterdam to the Champagne Valley through, I think it visits Belgium and then hits the Champagne Valley in France for 3 nights and then finishes in Paris. I'm like, that if I had a bucket list tour, that is it. It just looks fantastic. So
Oh,
we'll
definitely.
see.
Yeah, it's also another like highly requested one as well.
Yeah, yeah. What niche markets do you see fitting well with Colette, or maybe you can just tell us what your popular niche markets are?
Right now, the popular niche markets that we're seeing, of course, and Colette, of course, being known for faith-based tours, is
I was
most
just going to say, I must be in faith-based tours based
yeah,
on our conversation so far. Yeah.
a lot of faith-based tours, like pilgrimages. Of course, Oramagao being like one of the most popular tours that we know and events that we have to offer. But right now, what I'm seeing in terms of trends is private touring. So we also offer private touring as well, and that we launched that during the pandemic to kind of help ease the consumer's mind, right? If they want to travel with their own bubble, they have the opportunity even after COVID, right? So
And so when you
it's going to
say
be exciting.
private tours for, is it like 2 or 3 families, or would be like an individual family of 4, or you can Colette can do either?
It's pretty much up to 10 people.
Okay.
So you'll get
Nice.
your own tour manager, as well as it moves at a very I guess slower pace, right? You're kind of moving
You're
with
dictating the
exact.
itinerary, I guess, and yeah.
Yeah, like we'll have an itinerary, but it will be something that that bubble can travel, I guess, at their own pace. So it's kind of nice to, even though it is a little bit more expensive, it's kind of nice to have that opportunity and that option, especially when you go to a lot of these bucket list tours that we have to offer.
Yeah. And to control the things that you and your family specifically want, or your bubble, just depending on who you're traveling with, want to see and do in whatever destination. You can do some off
Exactly.
the beaten path stuff with private touring, which is kind of nice. Amazing. Can you tell us about one of your earliest or most favorite travel experiences? Where's one of your favorite things? Doesn't have to be through Colette, just a
Personally,
personal high.
so I think this started, I was pretty early in my career, in the travel industry. I actually went to a Slovenian tourist board event just because I've always had such a fascination with Slovenia. Um, just because one of my favorite basketball players was from there when I was growing up as a kid, I always did all this research. I'm like, oh, this sounds like an amazing country. Um, why hasn't it gained this real popularity like that Croatia did or
Yeah, the
other parts of
tourism.
Europe did, right? But they were handing out some amazing prizes, as we all are missing those. And I actually won. I
A trip to Slovenia,
Yeah,
really?
the grand prize. Like I thought I won a bottle of wine. Like I was just, of course, there for the education and of course like the ambiance because it was at the Shangri-La Hotel, I
Oh, that's a
believe,
great venue
and
in
it just
Toronto. Yeah.
and it just opened at that point, right? So I was just like enjoying the sights, and then all I hear is, "Oh, it's Andrew Howe," and then I like, "Oh, what did I win?" I'm like walking up to the stage, and I was in another room, and then they hand me this big Turkish Airlines voucher. And then I read, I'm like, oh, this is free airfare. And I'm like reading the terms, then I lose my mind. I couldn't hold in my excitement. So I was
Oh,
so happy that I got a chance to experience that. So I went to Slovenia, got a chance to see everything, Lake Bled. I decided to rent a car there as well. So I had an international driver's license that I use, and I drove around pretty much the whole country for 2 days. And then I came back to Ljubljana and got a chance to experience this amazing wine festival that happens in the fall. And then from there, I met my brother in Amsterdam, which was
yeah.
awesome too.
So we
And
know you had fun
yeah,
there.
so it was kind of nice because I got a chance to see uh, majority of that tour was done by train, so it's like a very different experience, right? And
Yeah.
when I met my brother in Amsterdam, we just jam packed our itinerary. So, of course, we did the Heineken tour, and we were very lucky to get tickets to the Anne Frank Museum as well. So, you
Yeah,
know,
they're hard to come by. That's
yeah,
such an amazing and moving experience. One of
yeah,
like highlights of my traveling experiences too.
for sure, for sure. How about you? Like, how about the experiences that you've had in the past?
Um, you know what? I've done Italy a couple of times. That's probably a highlight for me. Seeing the Amalfi Coast and just eating the food and drinking the wine. That's got to be one of my favorites. But honestly, I always say working as a travel agent is a bit like working as an alcoholic in a liquor store. Like every time, excuse me, I plan trips for clients, I'm like, that's the next place I want to go. My bucket list is never ending.
Yeah.
It's just, yeah, I do truly love to travel.
No, that's amazing. I think that's one of the things that I miss most is kind of seeing travel advisors and people in the industry, in real life. I think we're all a little bit zoomed out, have Zoom fatigue, and it's going to be really exciting to kind of, learn together at these different events and kind of
Yeah.
have conversations in person, right? So,
Yes, I'm excited. Yes, excited for all of that. Absolutely. Would you have any travel on your own, like an up and coming trip that you have planned or somewhere on your own bucket list that you're looking forward to getting to next?
right now, my brother was supposed to get married in 2021 in Italy.
Oh,
So
nice.
him and his wife we're doing a little ceremony in Florence. So that, fingers crossed, should be happening in the summer of 22. I'm sure it will. I'm
Did
very,
they
very
end up getting married already and now they're just going to do a ceremony, or are they waiting to get married to 2020?
we had a little church ceremony, but
Yeah.
for the big event with friends and family, it was supposed to be this, grand wedding at this like little a little I guess it's kind of like a private property. Like
Okay.
it's a private property
Yeah. Yeah.
in Tuscany. So it's going to be interesting. I have that, and I have a trip back to Korea and like and I'd probably go to like Thailand and Vietnam in late 22 with a friend of mine. But with Colette, the tour that I really want to go on is our Colors of Morocco tour. So it's part of
Um,
our small group explorations brand, but getting a chance to visit the Marrakesh night market and like, I'm a big like foodie. I would like to eat what the locals eat. And
yeah.
some of the
Hit
food
the
that they have, like
bazaars and yeah.
yeah, the tagine, which is like the chicken stew they have, or the snail soup, which I know sounds a little bit weird, but I heard it's amazing. I definitely want to
Yeah.
experience that there, right? So, I'm
Well,
very hopeful for that. But how about yourself? Do you have any plans for 22 travel?
So for March 2020, I was taking my kids. We were doing the hiking at Machu Picchu, so in Peru.
Wow.
So that has been rescheduled for 2022. I cannot wait. I'm hoping. And we were just going with our family of four, but now we've booked our bubble, if you will, and we're going with another family. So I'm super excited. I hope it happens. We'll see. But I'm, yeah, optimistically, cautiously optimistic that I will be able to get there. It's all good.
For sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to meet with me today. I appreciate you taking the time and helping us learn a little bit more about Colette. Again, thanks, and hopefully we'll see you soon in person rather than on Zoom the next time.
Yeah, I am sure we will probably get together in person very soon. I'm seeing great things coming out of like from my I guess my team in the States, seeing all of the BDMs back on the road again, agencies opened up again, people just really waiting for this pent-up demand to be met, right? So
Yeah.
it's an
Hopefully
exciting
they
time
can
in
follow.
travel. Yeah, for sure. Exciting time in
Fix us.
travel, and
Yeah.
we're really hopeful for it. So thank you so much for having me, and I can't wait to meet you in person.
Yes, absolutely. Thanks again, Andrew. Have a great
Thanks.
day.
Have a great day.